Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go from Hua Hin to Bangkok. I'm going to show you a way, so stick around. Okay, 7:35. We're on our way to the bus station. Can you open the gate? Gonna go and check the mail. Sawasdee Cup. Sawasdee Cup.
Em trời.
Yeah, Timothy.
ได้ยินแต่ครับ
ขอบคุณครับ
เนี่ยเขามาทักหน้าจอ
Seat 22. All right, so there's the bus ticket. I must have been the last person to check in because they knew who I was. Welcome to Voyager Smith. In 2024, my wife and I sold our house and all of our belongings and left for Thailand from the United States with our 2 Labrador retrievers. Join us as we review all of our travel and talk about our experiences living abroad. And if you find this information useful, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Now enjoy the video. And on to the bus. Last one to get here, first one here on the bus. And let's see. We're in seat 22. Just way back here, which is good. All right, let's get situated. So let's look around at the bus. I think there's 24 seats per bus. Like I said, during high season, they fill up. The seats are pretty comfortable. It's not always the same bus, so sometimes the seats are slightly different. You'd see I have plenty of leg room. This is a look at the bus station. They've got a little lady who sells food and cold drinks and stuff like that, but they do give you a free bottle of water when you get on the bus as part of your fare. So all in all, it's a pretty comfortable ride. About 3 hours. Okay, so this is the website I use to book the bus tickets on. It's 12Go. There's also an app for your phone. 425 baht each way, which is about $14 US. You could save about $100 or 100 baht by booking it in person, but you have to go to the bus station. I'd recommend several days before because the buses sell out. There's a guy coming back. He just arrived in Bangkok airport, was trying to catch a bus to Hua Hin, and the lady told him it was completely sold out for the rest of the day. So just keep that in mind. All right, it's 8 o'clock. Time to rock. Let's go. All right, as I said, this ride takes about 3 hours. Since that crane collapsed, they've closed off part of the highway, and so it gets a little bit congested. So it's been taking a little bit longer. On the way up today, it's going to end up taking me 3 hours and 15 minutes. And on the way back, it took me about 3.5 hours. That's the Hua Hin airport. The bus station is literally right next to it. Hua Hin Airport is going to be expanding. Right now, they only run flights to Chiang Mai. And then I think they've got like a 12-seat Cessna planes that go down to Phuket and maybe Koh Samui. I'm not sure. I can't find any information about them. But they are expanding the runway right now, and they're going to make it more of an international airport. I think what that means is they're going to be trying to go within 3 hours flight. So the smaller planes, the A320s and the 737s, will be able to land and take off from Hua Hin. I don't know anything about how much progress or infrastructure, if they've already been negotiating with different airlines to fly in. I'd imagine they'll go to as far away as Singapore, maybe Hong Kong, and then, Bali, Kuala Lumpur, places like that. So the purpose of this trip is I have a U.S. military Armed Forces Post Office box in Bangkok. It's at a place called Just Mag Thai, which is a joint U.S. and Thai base or little headquarters. And there's a Deer's office in there, and there's an ID card office. And if you're retired military, you're eligible to have a post office box. There is a waiting list you have to get in, and if you're retired, you can only get a package that's a maximum of £1 or send something that's £1. They do that to discourage people ordering a bunch of stuff from Amazon. But I've ordered things like some sunglasses and things like that, and you get a little email notification that you have a package in your box, and so you go up and get it. If you do not go up once a month, they will take the box away from you. Also, once a year, you have to go into the post office and recertify everything, because they want to make sure if somebody else needs a box, they can give it to them. And then I just found out on this last trip that if you drive yourself up to Just Mag Thai, you can actually, they'll let you in to park while you're getting your mail, which is a great deal if you're willing to drive to Bangkok. It's a little bit faster to drive than do it the way I'm doing it today. Today we're going to go all the way to Suvarnabhumi Airport, which is about 30 minutes past Bangkok. And then I'm going to take the airport rail link into Makassan Station. And then at Makassan, there is a connection to the Blue Line MRT. And so I'm going to take the Blue Line to Lumpini Park, which is where Just Mag Thai is, and go in and get my mail. And then I'm going to just turn around and do it all backwards. So it makes for a pretty long day. It actually makes my day go from 8 in the morning when I get on the bus till I got home that night about just before 6. So it was a pretty long day, a lot of on the bus and train and MRT. But this is one way to do it. You can see the Bangkok skyline there. And we have arrived at the airport. This is where Royal Thai keeps all of its airplanes on the tarmac. A lot of these are planes that aren't even flying anymore. It's kind of like their storage area. All right, we've arrived at the airport. As you can see, they literally pull up in front of the airport. So this is a great way to get to Bangkok if you're flying out on a flight. These buses run usually every hour on the hour going from Hua Hin up to Bangkok, except for, I don't think there's a 12 o'clock bus. I think they kind of take a break for lunch. Then on the return, they leave on the half hour. So I'm going to be catching a 2:30 bus back to Hua Hin because they leave on the half hour. But you can see my newly adopted home airport of Suvarnabhumi Airport. It's actually a great airport. Lots of lounges, lots of things to do. Pretty well organized. Okay, to get to the airport rail link, we are going to go down these escalators, down 4 levels to the very basement. That's where the airport rail link is. So, come along. All right. Once you're in the basement, you go to the right off the escalators. See, they've got some restaurants down here. I've never checked the prices, but I think they're probably pretty good. I'd guess they're cheaper than a lot of the main parts of the airport. They have that Thai street food place that I'm passing on the right. But anyways, you just follow the signs. The signs are all up above you, say Airport Rail Link. It's the ticket machines are down here to the left. I think they're trying to integrate like a Visa tap to pay system there, but I always just bring cash. It's 35 baht to take the airport rail link all the way into Makassan station. So, and then it's 25 baht for the MRT subway, the blue line, to go to Limfini Park. So each way is 60 baht, which is less than $2 to get all the way from Suvarnabhumi Airport, a half hour into the city. So a pretty good deal. All right, here's a look what the interface looks like. There's a English and a Thai button. You can change to English. Select one ticket. You touch the destination. I usually just stick 100 baht in the machine, and then I get, what is it, 65 baht back and change, and then they give you a little token that pops out. The token is what you use on the scanner. Oh, it didn't like my the 100 I had initially, so I had to switch to a different one. They gave me a slightly different looking one that had a clear panel in it. I got it changed from McDonald's. I'm hoping I didn't get some kind of counterfeit bill or something. But anyways, I just switched to another 100 baht bill, and then I got my token. Off we go. All right, here's the turnstiles that you go through, get on the airport rail link. There's a little touchpad. It's got the green square on it. You just touch your token to that, and the gates pop open. You hold onto your token. When you get off the airport rail link, there'll be a slot at the exit where you drop your token in. Your token is programmed with your destination, so that's how they know you paid for the proper amount for the fare. It's actually a really good system. It works great. So then you figure out there's really only one airport rail link leaving the airport, so you don't have two directions. Now, if you take the rail link into town and you get off in one of the middle stations, then yes, you got to know if you're going back to Suvarnabhumi, you need to make sure you're on the train going back to Suvarnabhumi. But the system is dead easy. You just go down, you hop on the airport rail link. I happen to have pretty good timing today. I think the train shows up here in like a minute. The other thing that's interesting to note is when the passengers get off the train, they do a sweep to make sure nobody's left any bags or anything like that unattended on the train. I don't know if they had a bomb threat at one time or what happened, but they're very security conscious, so they will go through and sweep the train, make sure it's all clear, and then allow you to get on board. So no big deal. Yep, here comes the train now. One thing I got to say for Thailand, even though it's a huge city, Bangkok is a huge city, they're very orderly. Like they let everybody get off the train first, and then you get to board. It's not like in some countries where everybody's like crowding themselves. Okay, we've arrived at Makassan Station. So gonna get off the train. We're gonna go through that turnstile where I'm gonna drop my token in the slot so it'll allow me to exit. And then we're going to walk on the sky bridge over to the MRT station. MRT is the subway. So there's three big primary ways in Bangkok to get around by public transportation. There's the airport rail. There's what's called the BTS, which is the sky train. It goes above the ground. And the MRT, which is a subway and goes below the ground. Oh, and I guess the fourth way is the buses, but I haven't taken a bus yet in Bangkok. But yeah, so four main means of public transportation. It's actually pretty easy to get around Bangkok. Getting around on the roads, though, is the worst because the traffic is horrible. All right, now I'm going to drop my token in the slot, and we will walk to the MRT station. You just follow the lines. There was one that I just passed, or the signs that say to the metro, to the MRT, and it's pretty clearly marked and easy to find. It was pretty hot this day, though, I gotta say. Yeah, here's one of the blue MRT metro signs on my left. You can see I'm passing right there. So pretty easy to spot, pretty clear. So this is where the walkway starts to the MRT. We're going to the Phetchaburi station. It's an outdoor walkway above ground. The view is actually pretty good if you like looking at all the congestion and traffic. It can be pretty crowded up here depending on the time of day and the season, but if it's hot, like today it was, I think 90 degrees and about 75% humidity. So it was a sweaty walk getting to it. But the MRT stations and the airport rail link, the trains themselves are always air conditioned, but the Maksan station is obviously open air, so you feel it when you come out of the air conditioning off that airport rail link. And then you walk to the MRT station, and once you get down below ground in the MRT station, things start cooling off pretty well, and it gets real comfortable. The trains themselves are nice and air conditioned, so pretty easy walk though. I think it was like it's probably like a 7-minute walk. It's not bad. Overall, the trip's not that bad. Yeah, it's 3 hours and change on the bus on the way up and back, but I usually just listen to an audiobook. So right now I'm listening to a World War II Navy fictional novel that's got some history in it, and it's very entertaining, so it works pretty good. But anyways, yeah. The camera I'm using today is an Insta360 Ultra. I got it right before we left on our trip to Australia. So far I like it. I find it's better at some things. I need to try the pure vision mode when it's darker out and see how that does. I did notice that I was getting some flickering with like fluorescent lights in the videos, some of my videos. So if you guys know what's set, I've tried changing it to 59p, or tried changing the frequency to 29 to 50 to 60, and nothing seems to work. So if you guys have a solution, I'd appreciate it. Just drop it in the comments below. So the walkway is complete, and this is the entrance to the MRT station. You get in the escalator, you start feeling the temperature go down immediately. They have a security gate, like a magnetometer that everybody has to pass through when they go in towards the trains. Everybody sets it off because their cell phones and everything like that. I think every now and then there's always a security person there. They'll just randomly select somebody to like look through their bag or whatever, but I've never been stopped. But yeah, this is the security checkpoint, and people have their bags, briefcases, suitcases full of stuff, probably a lot of non-metal stuff, so whatever makes you feel better. Okay, on this train, they do have tap to pay, and for some reason this day it wasn't working, but it's worked for me before, so I ended up paying for a token. Same type of system where you get a token, you touch your destination, and then It's 25 baht to go to Lumpini Park, which I think was like 4 stops away. Yeah, you can see the Visa thing. So actually, the Visa thing did work going this way. It didn't work when I was coming off. And they seemed to be aware that there was a problem, so I just paid the fare. I didn't get charged or anything. This station is in the middle of the city, so it definitely has trains going in both directions. So you need to, right above the train itself, there'll be a sign, a map that shows like the different stations it's going to go to. So you need to take a quick look at that and figure out whether you need to be on the number 1 or the number 2 line. Now going back, I always just remember like whichever line I was going on to get to Lumpini Park, I remember I get on the opposite one going back. So not a big deal, but nice and clean, cool in here. They have like TVs up that show both commercials and how long until the next train shows up. So there I just read the map. You can see it like above that guy's head. And I was like, nope, that's not the train I want to. And then they also had this map out here so you could see this is Phetchaburi where we're at. And we are going up to Lumpini. So that's 1, 2, 3, or 4 stops. So we'll get ready to get on the train. And the train gods were smiling at me again today. And I only had to wait for about a minute for this train to show up. All right, now we're going to head up and out of the train station, and I'll show you how far the walk is to get to Just Mag Thai. It's pretty easy, actually. So where I needed to get to, I wanted to take exit 2 out of the train station. You'll notice that there's a bunch of different exits at a lot of train stations. So you need to read the signs to make sure you get off on the one that's going to be on the right side of the street or, you know, in the direction where you want to go. Otherwise, you could end up going out a exit that takes you to a totally different place that you didn't want to go to. Now, this is the turnstile that didn't work with the tap to pay. So one other key thing, if you're using the tap to pay, you have to use the exact same card that you used to tap when you entered the station. That's the way they track it. So you can't pull out 2 different credit cards in order to do it. So we'll skip ahead over this part. All right, we're finally on our way. We're heading up to the outside. I'm already starting to feel the heat hit me in the face, but it's a short walk. It's long enough to get sweaty, though, unfortunately. You will perspire here in Thailand. There's no way around it. Okay, so this is Sathorn Road. I believe that's what it's called. And we're going to walk to Just Mag Thai. Like I said, it was about 90 degrees today and about 70% humidity. You could still see people wearing long sleeves and long pants, and I for one was wearing shorts, running shoes, and a dry fit polo shirt. So I actually felt pretty good, not too bad. But this is a really, really good deal to have this APO, Armed Forces Post Office box in Bangkok. It allows me to send mail to and from the United States at the regular postage rate. I don't even know what this, I've been gone almost 2 years, so I don't know what a postage stamp cost in the US, but whatever that stamp cost is, what I pay for letter mail to go back to the States. Not that I send a lot of mail back to the States. Everything's done electronically now. The other thing that's interesting about this Armed Forces Post Office box is they don't sell stamps. So if you want to mail something, you've got to get some stamps. I was able to buy a sheet the last time I was in the US, so I keep a sheet of US stamps on my desk, and that's what I take. And then I usually take the sheet with me because in case the postage rate went up, if I have to stick an extra stamp on there to mail something back, then that works. But right now, I think there's a ban on sending mail out of Thailand through the Thai postal system to the US. So I've had people on Facebook, friends, ask me if they could, if I could either carry something for them or I can mail it for them, which I'm not supposed to do, but I'm happy to carry it for them if I go over there. So this on the corner is Just Mag Thai. And then this is, I couldn't film security, but this is what the inside of the post office looks like.